Good morning, beautiful friends. Welcome to another video. It has taken me some time between the video where I did the shop log and the video that I did together with Susanne from Hood Art. Hello, sweetie. Thank you again so much for doing that exchange with me. I did not receive your journal yet, but I'm anxious that it will be here. Not anxious, I'm anticipating that it will be here every day now, and I can't wait. And of course, my beautiful viewers, I will do a flip through of what Susanne made for me. I will also link her video again down below. And today I want to take you along in looking what I have in my studio. I know you love watching my studio, and I know you love all the vintage items, but are you curious if I use them or if I just use them for decoration? Well, to start with, I will show you some of the things that I have on my desk right now that I use daily. And to start with it is this old pair of scissors. They don't look like much, and I saw them in the thrift store for 25 euro cents, really. And I thought, well, they look nice and old, so let me just take them home because, well, I also have these scissors. They are from Vibra. That's also a kind of like Teddy in Germany. I love them, but they're not aesthetically pleasing to me, but I use them. But I always lose them. So when I'm in the middle of something, I like to have two scissors. And these are the ones that I really love aesthetically. And I'm not going to get rid of these. No, I'm not, because they're really good, but these are even better. Can you imagine? They are so old and tattered, and yet these scissors are really good. So yes, I use these daily, but also these. I have two on my desk, and I love them. But just last week, I found this little beauty, and I was on the lookout for an old stapler. And I could not believe my luck when I found this one in the shop, and it's working. So I'm really happy with it. It loads at the back. It works like a charm. I can put the staples in here and then push this one in so that the staples go forward. I could not believe it when the lady said, well, I think I would like 3 euros for this. So I'm really happy with it, and it even says something on the top. Let me see if I can read it for you. It says Senator, and the model and the patent number are there. I could not believe it. I don't think these are antiques. I mean, antique to me is 100 years old. I have written a blog on my website. You can check that out. I will link it down below, where you can see a close-up photo of this one. A while ago, I found this little clock, and this was more expensive. This one was like 25 euros, but I love it to bits, and it works like a charm, so I'm really happy with it. I have to wind it myself, and every morning it is like 5 minutes, sometimes 10 minutes even behind, but I don't care. I love it. I love this on my desk. It saves me from opening my iPad or my iPhone, and that's why I love having these analog things on my desk. Then I also have this little cigar box with a beautiful lock. I can't remember how much I paid for it. I think €1.25 or something. And I have some trinkets inside, things that inspire me whenever I do a fantasy journal, a fantasy comes up in my mind and I go through these things. I don't know if you are a fan of the Fantastic Beasts series. I am, and I kind of feel like the Niffler. I'm always gathering shiny objects, and I keep them myself. I am the Niffler, I'm sure. Because this is also a shiny object. It's an inkwell. I had some ink in it the other day and I used it with my dip pen, but the air inside our house is really dry in wintertime, and the ink dried out really quickly and got all gloopy and not nice. So when I'm working with my dip pen and India ink, I just put a little ink in here, and yeah, I use this for drawing. I did these drawings with India ink and then use watercolor on top of them. And if you follow me on Instagram, you've also seen this one. This is also done with India ink. And this one I did with a calligraphy pen that I bought, and they said it was India ink, but it wasn't. It's smeared. It's not the worst, but yeah, not something I really like. But for drawing, I love using my dip pen. The other day, somebody told me that they switched these pens for dip pens with India ink, because all this is permanent ink, and so is India ink. So yeah, why not use India ink? Because these go into the landfill once they are finished. I mean, we don't reuse them, so this I think is better. But I know it takes practice, and yeah, I have been practicing working with dip pens since I was a teenager. But hey, I understand it if you use the other ones, but for me it's a reason to change to dip pens. I will use these up, definitely. I won't throw them away just yet, but I'm not going to buy any new ones anymore. The other thing that I have on my desk is this blotter. My grandpa used to use one of these. He used to write with a fountain pen and then blot his words afterwards. And I found this in Denmark 2 years ago, and it was €6. I have on my blog, I have a photo of the papers that came along with it, and I thought, well, €6, am I going to use this? So I put it away, and then just before we went to the register to pay the other things that we had in our cart, I went back and I got it anyway, and I'm so happy that I did, because I use this every single day. I love writing with a modern fountain pen because, well, I'm not writing with a dip pen all the time. Fountain pens really save my time. I fill this myself with bottles of ink that are not vintage, because ink doesn't last, it dries out. But I love writing with these, and then you can see there's blue ink in here, and before I had pink ink in here. I wash this fountain pen out nearly weekly, and then I write daily in my journal. Well, that I have here, it's private, so I won't show you a lot of it, but I write daily in my TN journal, and then I have this to do some doodling or drawing in. So yes, I use that daily. And then I have this on my desk too. This is also vintage, and I love this, that this is even tin. It's not plastic like the modern ones have, and it works like a charm. It squeaks, and I love the sound of it. So yeah, these are the vintage. Oh, and there's another thing I have on my desk, and it's this carousel that is used for stamps, I think, in an office. It is dusty and old, and I can't get much dust off of it anymore. but I use it for my ink pads. And at first I thought, oh, I'm so clumsy. First I thought I would hang them like this, but that way I could not see the colors that were on there. So I changed it up, and now I have it like this, and I can see all the colors that I'm using. And yes, you can buy these new, and they're lovely, but I was fortunate enough to find this together with a whole bunch of other stuff in a briefcase that I'm going to get now. I'm going to flip the camera around and show you some more things that I find in the thrift store and that I use, because I don't care for things just being decor, although I have things that are just for display. Most of the things get used in my room. I'm fortunate. I have a craft room of myself, but it is full. So just displaying things and not using them, that doesn't work for me. One last thing that I have on my desk that I want to show you is this bowl. I bought a whole nest of them, and I empty this every night. There's just a few things in here at the moment, but that's my bowl for throwing away little things. And for paper, I have this basket. I don't know if it's vintage. I don't think so. It's just something I really like. I used to have these metal containers from IKEA, the pink ones, but they no longer worked for me, so I donated them. And that's what I do with things that no longer work for me. I donate them. But yes, I promised you I would turn the camera around. I'm going to do that, and I'm going to show you how lucky I was in the thrift store. And yeah, see you in a bit. Well, and before I show you what's on my desk, I want to talk a little bit about these chairs that I found also in the thrift store in Denmark. And I love them so much that I don't care that I need a little pillow to sit on my desk. And on my desk is already that beautiful briefcase that I found. And in my window, there's the beautiful ledgers and old books. And this beauty is something I bought refurbished of a lady that was well known to an acquaintance of mine. And she said she refurbishes these, and yeah, that's why I bought her. I really love her. I almost use her daily, and she only stitches straight, but that's fine if I'm doing yeah, some quilting or just some dressmaking that I'm doing at the moment. The ones of you that follow me also on Instagram know that I'm working on a fairy costume, and for that I have, let me not make you dizzy, I have dyed a lot of doilies and cloth into greens and browns, and all these fabrics are on the windowsill for this well, they're kind of displayed, but I use them and I love it. There's my little dollhouse. Yeah, I've got a video on how I made it, and I will link it below. It doesn't get much love at the moment. I need more space to work on it, but that will surely come in the future. Now let me turn you around slowly. Here are some snippet rolls that I'm working on in my little tin of leftover bits and bobs, and I am working on some leaves that are going on my costume. I really love doing that, and that's something to do in front of the TV at night. And this is another example of things that I love. This little old sewing basket that I also got from the thrift store. I have a video on how I repaired it, and just an overview of things not so vintage, but then again there are some vintage suitcases in there that I love to use. the view outside of my craft room, and yeah, my computer that I use to know what I'm filming, and also I work on my computer from time to time. And above the computer I have my inspiration board. But yeah, are you interested in seeing an overview of my room again, messy and all? And here is my big inspiration board. I love to think up stories about these. How much are there? 6 characters. No. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8 characters. I can't count. Sorry. But, and this quote, it always helps me. And what I changed up is, next to me I have all my drawing materials. So it invites me to draw even more than I did before. And it's really helpful. And I've got my journals there and some papers to use. But now, for the thing that I wanted to show you that I was really lucky to find, and it's this briefcase, and it was full of yummy goodies to use on my desk. I'm going to mount the camera onto what's that called, an arm. And I can show you better what I found. So can you believe this find, this old briefcase? Actually, I did not find it, my hubby did, but we were together in this thrift store where they had all these items that people can sell personally on tables and in display cabinets. And he called out to me and he said, you have got to come with me. And then we opened it up, and everything that you see here was inside, together with 2 inkwells and this carousel, without the daubers of course, but this carousel was also in there. And I was like, oh, and this wasn't in there. I've thrown this in myself, but the rest was in there. And I'm going to go through it with you, because if you're ever fortunate enough to find such a treasure, and I must say I paid 75 euros for it, but I think it's worth it completely. So the 2 ink pots, I'm really happy with them. And they are on my desk on display. But on the other hand, if I'm using India ink, I will fill it up a bit, and happy to use them. There are 2 small stamps in there. Label stamps. I've tried them and they work, so I'm really happy with them. I can't imagine where they were used. They're quite decorative. They are small, but yeah, perfect for junk journaling, of course. And this is something I found a longer time ago. Glasses in a pouch, and I really love these. And look, they are mended. They were broken ones, and yeah, I can't use them. These are purely decorative, but I love them so much, and they were only a couple of euros, so I took them. And I love keeping them in here, because this is something I don't use daily, but I could not pass up. This is a stamp with old dates on there. Obviously the pad is dried out completely, but I want to work on this and see if I can get it working again, and just stamping away for decorative purposes. It says 1954, so vintage. Antique is 100 years and older, so this is not vintage, but I love it. And I also love that it came with the box. There's another of these blotters. I mean, I don't need two on my desk, and this one is slightly bigger and more worn than the other one. But I am hoping that this year I will even get a bigger studio. Maybe it will be next year, maybe it will be the year after that, but I am on I'm waiting to get a bigger studio, and then I will probably display these things. There was this in there, and I have used it from August onwards to December. Dates, days and months, but the months of January, February, March and April are not in here. So either I have to make a card myself, why not, or I have to just use it on other dates. But as you can see, I think they displaced the cards already, because this is another font than this is, and I think this is older. So probably this is quite old, and they've changed out the cards already once. And now I look at it, I can even see that the coloration on this one is different than these. But yeah, I love this. I love this on my desk. Then there was another, how do you call these? Well, you know what it is. It is covered in dust. I need to clean it, but again, it has the tin back, and I really love that. There's this ruler. I can't use it because it is broken, but then again, it is nice to use for tearing papers. There's this Pelican. I think there were ribbons in here for a typing machine. But the box in itself is already nice. And there was this paper bag from chocolates, and I really love this paper bag. I'm not going to use this one. And there was something that the lady in the thrift store was also really excited about. It's a telegram, and it's a telegram in Belgium, or from Belgium, and I really love the garland that's on here. And it's a telegram for Mr. and Mrs. Jansen. And then there's the address in Ghent, that's Belgium. Our congratulations to the newlyweds and both of the families. And then it says the name of the one who congratulated them. And this is, I think, from 1922. And it's the 11th of January. So wouldn't you like to own this? I mean, I was so happy with it. And also the lady in the thrift store, she was so excited that this was in there. I'm not going to use it as it is. I'll probably scan it and see if I can use it once I've scanned it. But I'm keeping it in here for now. And then this. Just a tin, I thought at first, but it is filled with 2 fountain pens, a pencil, a kind of blending stump, and this is quite modern. This is a pen. Oh, oops. Oh, yeah, I remember. It's just a pen like this. But these fountain pens, I would love to restore them. I am going to take them to a fountain pen shop here in the north of the Netherlands and see if it's able to restore them. I can take it apart, and here I can see the part where you need to put the ink in, so probably you have to put this inside the inkwell and turn it to get the ink to go up. But yeah, it needs to be restored. It's completely stuck and not usable anymore, but I love the nib. Probably gilded on silver, and I hope I can get it working again. It is a beautiful little fountain pen, and so is this one. And again, it is completely stuck. I can't do anything with it. I can't open it. I don't know what this is for, so I need to take it to somebody who can restore it for me. But I'm really happy that these were in here, and I treasure them, and I want them restored, and I hope I can use them again. So, how do I treasure hunt? Well, I go to the thrift store nearly every week, and I'm going to tell you a bit about my method, but in the meantime, I also want to show you some things so you have something to look at. So I'm going to pause the video here, find something to show you, and then I'm going to tell you about my way of treasure hunting. So I just thought I'd put a few things on my desk so you have something to look at, and I will tell you something more about these. This is a tin that I probably received when I was a little girl with some pencils in there, and I've saved it ever since. It did not get lost and I really love it. There are no more pencils this size that I can put in here, but once my pencils reach this size, oh, perhaps the Tim Holtz ones or other pencils, I could use it. But then again, it is so beautiful and it is from my childhood, so I'm saving it. This one belonged to my grandfather. It was on his desk, I remember. He always wrote with a fountain pen, but he knew I was trying to do calligraphy with dip pens, so I got this from him. And in the meantime, it is filled up with even more dip pens, but it was always filled with pens, you know, these ones. And yeah, I love that I have this. It reminds me of my grandfather, and yeah, happy. And this box is also from my own childhood. I have put this cat from Aristocats on here myself. It was a rub, and it stays on there really nicely. It is damaged in the meantime, but I don't care. And this is full of fountain pens that I am currently not using, dip pens, an old ink pot, and there's still there's two on there that was guilders, our old currency. Spare dip pens for another kind of pen. And yeah, this is nothing special. I think this was only a few bucks, but I love this one. And yeah, this one is so damaged that it's not nice to use anymore, but it was from me from when I was a teenager, so I will never throw it away. This is a wonderful fountain pen, and I bought this new. But while you're watching at my fountain pens, let me tell you how I go about thrifting. I go nearly every week, so that's a lot. Yes, and there are over 30 thrift stores here just in my province, and I'm next to another province. This is new, by the way. And I just go to the thrift stores that I like, and sometimes I find a new one. There's an app in the Netherlands for thrift stores, and sometimes I look up a new one and I try them out. And also sometimes you hear from other people about nice thrift stores, and then I try it out. I just go there, and sometimes it's nothing, and sometimes it's really nice. And yeah, why not? I love going on adventure. What I look for in thrift stores, and these pens are for drawing also, and yeah, they're really nice. And this is something I use for taking the ink out and putting them inside my fountain pen. But distracted. How do I go about thrifting? Most of the time I have something in the back of my head. I mean, I see something on Instagram, on Pinterest, on YouTube videos from other YouTubers, and then I think, let me go on the lookout for a stapler, or let me go on the lookout for some doilies. I'm always on the lookout for doilies, and I just go inside the thrift store and try to find the items that I'm looking for. But at the same time, I always keep an open mind for other things that are there. I'm always on the lookout if they have a special vintage section. I will go there first. I will look where they have the doilies. I will look where they have the tins. And sometimes they keep the modern tins separate from the really old tins. This one I got from my friend Michelle. Hi, sweetie. This one is from the States, but this one I also found in the Netherlands. You know, there's volunteers working in thrift stores, and I mean, I don't care if they know what things cost, and I'm okay if they charge you a lot of money. For example, if they would charge me €5 for this tin, I understand it, but I won't take it. I am always on the lookout for the things that are similar, but don't cost as much. But that being said, I know the briefcase that I just show you, I know that was worth it, and I paid it. And if I wanted this for €5, I would pay it. But normally I'm on the hunt for things that are cheaper. And there are these thrift stores that they know the prices of the internet very well, and they charge big bucks. I tend to not go there very often. I love the little dirty old shops that you have to rummage through things, or the display cabinets that people rent out themselves, and they want to sell you something. I also get my my sewing supplies there sometimes. People donate things or try to sell things that I can use very well. But the thing that I'm looking for mostly is things that I can use. Like, for example, this, what is it? A needle case with, how do you call this? A pin cushion on top. And it was so nice. And I think it is tin, but I really loved it. The inside obviously has been redecorated by someone, I think. But I saw this, it was €2, and I thought, yes, this is something I would pay €2 for, because I can use it. I can use it inside my sewing basket and take it to the quilt bee, and that's when I decide I want something. And sometimes, like the glasses that I show you, it's just that I really love them so much that they are for display. But that's okay. Most of the time I am looking for things to use. So yeah, that's my secret, as you can call it. I'm looking for things that I like and that I can use. So when you're saying, oh, they don't have such beautiful things in the thrift store that I go to, well, go to another thrift store. If you are able to, download this app. It's called, in the Netherlands, it's called Kringloop. And yeah, it shows you all the thrift stores that are out there in the Netherlands, and maybe there's something similar in your country, or talk to other people about the thrift stores they like, and yeah, change it up a bit, the thrift store that you go to, because, well, I know that if I've been to one and I've taken all the doilies they had because I love them, then they won't have doilies the next week, probably. Sometimes they do, but probably I have to leave that thrift store for about a month, I think, and go check them out. And sometimes I come home empty-handed, but that is just a few times. Most of the times I find at least something, but sometimes it's just one tin that I take home. And I also leave things nowadays because I don't need any more paper. Old books, I've got enough, so I'm not taking them anymore. And yeah, let me know what you do when you go through the thrift store. What are you looking for? Do you have a little list in the back of your head? And are you open for surprises? Because surprises do happen. And I find that if I keep an open mind for surprises, that yeah, you never know what you find in the thrift store you didn't know you needed. But let me know down in the comments what you are looking for in your thrift store. Yeah, what is it? Adventure. Because to me, thrifting is always a bit of an adventure. And let me know your little secret. Let me know if my tips were helpful. And also let me know if you use what you find, and maybe you are inspired to go looking for some new things after this video. Thank you so much for watching this time. I hope you have subscribed, and I hope you can give this video a thumbs up, because that really helps out my channel. And see you again really soon. Bye bye for now.